So I guess I'm kind of going to regret this if I don't do it, if I do break the record. If I don't break the record, this will never be seen by anyone. And you're probably wondering what the hell I'm talking about, because I know I haven't been good with videos and stuff. I haven't been on at all. Long story, but we're not going to get to that right now, because I need to spit this out while I can. So I am in about 30 hours going to try and break the 24 and 48 hour South African SA women's record, and see how much I can run in that amount of time. I know it's absolutely bonkers. I don't even know why I want to do this type of stuff. Why do I do this to myself? Like, seriously, why? I'm kind of freaking out right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really freaking out. Yeah, like, I don't know, I'm just seeing like monsters everywhere, you know, like your mind just starts playing tricks on you and stuff. I got sick 2 weeks ago, but not even like proper sick, like just a little bit sick. And you know, like I wouldn't have even gone to the doctor. Obviously I went for COVID tests and stuff because that's just who I am. I always, you know, just need to make sure. But it hasn't gone away completely, and then like I find this problem, that problem, and I'm just like freaking myself out. And you can even see how I'm just talking at a million miles an hour. I am quite excited though, I really am. I just want to be 100%, if you know what I mean. I really think I can do it. I wouldn't try. I'm like one of those people, I don't try things if I don't think I can do it. I know it's stupid, how you're ever going to learn to do anything if you never try anything new, because you're not going to be good at it. But anyways, and that's besides the point. But yeah, so I don't know, as long as I'm 100% and nothing goes wrong, I really think I can do it. But you know, if something goes wrong, yeah, I don't know. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Fingers crossed this video goes out there, because I'll be heartbroken. I can't actually tell you. I think I'll break myself if I don't break the record. I don't know, I'm not a good loser. I'm really not a good loser. So if it doesn't happen, I will really be heartbroken. And you know, like, a lot of people have to go through a lot of effort to actually help me. So I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let my family down. I want to let everyone supporting me down, even though they're all like, you know, we're so proud of you just for trying. Yeah, you know, trying doesn't do anything to me. So I just really want to do this. Yeah, so the rest of today I'm just going to take it easy tomorrow, and focus on this run. And hopefully I'll be making a new video in a few days about like, hey, I broke a record. I don't know. Why is it so important to me? I don't know. I don't know what I feel like I need to prove, and why I always feel like I need to prove something, but I guess, you know, that's just kind of who I am. So I'm gonna do this little by little, because my brain is still absolutely nowhere. So I'm gonna be jumping all over the place. So you just have to bear with me. And you know what? It's actually been so long since I did a video. I don't even know if I know how to edit anymore. I'm sorry. I know. I don't have proper excuses for it. I've been absolutely useless. I'm sorry. I'd like to say I try and be better, but I don't like to make promises I can't keep, so I'm not actually even going to say that. But I am going to tell you about my record-breaking attempt. Well, obviously you saw the previous video, so clearly you would not have seen that had I not made it. I would have just tried to keep very quiet about it. But yay, I did it. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I really am. But where to start? Yeah, you know, like I was petrified. I really was. More for failing. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail in front of people. I don't know. It's probably my biggest fear in life is failure. I don't like losing. I don't like not doing things right. And yeah, I knew this was in my reach, but I knew it was gonna be tough. And because it's such a long period of time, anything can go wrong. Like, you can be running great at a stage, and then you can just absolutely fall apart, which happened like 100 times. Yeah, so let me just tell you exactly what happened. So the 24 hour, the record used to be 190.4 Ks. I've now extended to 197. Yay! In total honesty, I did want a bit of a thing, a bigger, I don't know, cushion, if you could call it that. But unfortunately, I don't know, it wasn't, I'm very, I think I did the best I could on the 2 days, but I don't know, I wasn't feeling it on the days. I really wasn't. I've been struggling, you know, getting up to that point, and I think that's what made me so nervous as well, as I wasn't actually all that confident going in. So I think it became more of a mental challenge than anything else, because I just had to push through. Obviously, you know, there were going to be, no matter what, going to be dark times, but the dark times started very early, and yeah, I was not the happiest of campers, but we'll get to that anyways. And then so after the 24 hours, I went straight into the 48-hour record, which is really cool, so that I can have like 2 records at the same time. I think I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so then I continued for another few Ks, just to get a few more Ks under the belt after the 24 hours, just to finish on 200 before I like sort of took my shoes off type thing. So I was like, well, what if I can't get my shoes back on my feet? And then I finished the 48 hours on 260 kilometers, and the previous record was 242. So yeah, it was a great weekend. It was an extremely physically painful weekend, and mentally painful, to be honest. Your mind's just got to. People ask me, but like how? My answer is I don't know. I really don't. Like, because they go, oh, you're just so strong in your mind. But the thing is, I don't really feel like I am, because like half the time I'm crying and I'm just like, I hate this and nah. But somehow I just tell my mind, you know, just keep going, and I try to say positive things, like, because I promise you I was struggling from like 30 Ks. I was like, no, I shouldn't be struggling this much so soon. And I even said to my dad, I was like, Dad, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And he's like, do you want to quit? I was like, no, why? Because I mean, he obviously knows I'm gonna say no. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, even just like thinking back about it, I'm just like, oh, Tegan, you poor thing. I actually feel sorry for myself a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, so now you see, now I've really lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was telling you guys. I've been struggling to sleep a lot since I've finished. I don't know why. So yeah, so like everything's not quite. I mean, you can see my face. Sorry, this is what you look like after you run for 2 days. But yeah, so I got the 260, which was fabulous, and it was a fabulous, like I was saying, it was a fabulous weekend. I got so much support, it was insane. Really, I can't actually thank people individually. I can't even thank people as groups, because it was just so amazing. I really, yeah, it was really a team effort. It really was. You know, like I have my family always backing me, which is always amazing. My dad thinks whatever I say I can do. He really believes in me like there's no tomorrow, and you know, my brothers are always there for me, and the rest of the family always there for me. So it's really fantastic. And you know, we had bunny mascot to support Balti. So Balti was there in spirit with the little bunny mascot. And yeah, my club set all of this up for me, and you know, it was all completely professionally done so that we could make it official. I mean, I don't want to run all this way and then it's not official. Yeah. So yeah, and you know, where we actually ran was amazing. I must be honest, I wasn't sure about it at the time. Because obviously number one would have been a track, because then it was on tartan and it'd be soft on the legs and wada. But we couldn't get that right, and so we found this place called the Irene Oval, which is this sort of these cricket grounds, and it's a nice like round cement track or tar track around the oval. But I was like, oh yeah, but it's all round, there's no straight parts, and you know, it's gonna be hot, and oh my goodness, was it hot. And I love the heat, but this was a bit ridiculous. Because I mean, you know, this is why we do it in September, so it's not ridiculously hot. But it was ridiculously hot. But I mean, you know, it all adds to the achievement, I guess. But yeah, but you know what? This venue actually ended up being the best venue ever. The community was amazing, because it's in like a little village. So all these people came out and supported me. It was amazing. I never felt so loved in my life. Like, little kitties making signs for me and cheering me on, and people bringing me like iced coffees and cake and putting on their water sprinklers for me, and the community was just absolutely fantastic. Like I absolutely loved it. Yeah, so it ended, and I think that helped too, you know, just a little bit of atmosphere, and yeah, so it all just seemed to click and work out. yeah, so that I'm gonna stop there because I'm rambling and I'm listening to myself talk and it's like and I hate speaking like that, but I can't really help it right now, I'm sorry. So I'll fill you in. I'll sort of, I don't know, I guess I'll start at the beginning, and try and like work you through the whole thing, and then I'm gonna forget pieces and then want to go back. But you know, this is obviously the biggest achievement in my life, even more so than anything I did in tennis. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. So I'm gonna just like relive the moment a little bit. So I guess we need to start at the very beginning, kind of like how I got about doing this. I don't know, so I got into the whole 100-miler thing. I'm sure I've told you guys that story. And the last 100-miler I ran really well and I was happy with my time and everything. And I looked at my time and I was like, So 100 miles is 161 Ks, and now the record for 24 hours was 190.4 in South Africa. I just want to reiterate, this is let me try that again. This is stop speaking so fast. This is a South African record, not a world record. I am miles and miles and miles off, quite literally, as the world record. So no. Let's start there. Anyways, so so that meant it was only another 30 kilometers I'd have to cover in 24 hours. And that would give me plus minus, you know, according to the times I was running 100 milers in, another 5 hours to do 30 kilometers, which if you're a runner, you're like, oh please, that's so easy. You go run 160 Ks first and then tell me it's easy. No, not at all. But in my mind, I was like, no, this is actually doable. I could actually do this. So that sort of was in the back of my mind. This was in 2019, because you must remember, obviously, lovely COVID and whatnot happened. So yeah, so sort of then in 2020, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I need some sort of goal, and because now we know got no races, and this was when I was running really, really well, and obviously I would have loved to have continued and done a few more races and things, but you know, it was not to be, and we were locked down. So I had nothing better to do than just run and run and run and run. Luckily I had my tennis courts, I had space, and I could just run around the tennis court. And that's where the whole goal of 8,000 kilometers came in. It just gave me something to sort of strive towards. And that just really, really built a lot of endurance in my legs, and it gave me, I suppose, a lot of training and just that constant pounding, because I ran, it averages out to be about 22 kilometers every single day for 366 days, because last year was a leap year. So that was a really good start, sort of building blocks. But you know, like there still is COVID. So you couldn't, you know, there was no opportunity in 2020 to even attempt something like this. Then I didn't even tell you guys, because I haven't been doing videos, I'm useless. I didn't tell you guys, I think I mentioned it, but then I sort of stopped my videos, that I was doing this 400 kilometer challenge in 8 days in the Eastern Cape, which is insane. We ran a marathon every day for 7 days, and then we did 103 Ks on the last day. And this was, you know, in the mountains and crazy routes, and then the last day was all on gravel and flipping mountains like this. So that was also great sort of training to try and break a 24 and a 48 hour record. And it gave me the confidence to actually go for it. If I can manage a marathon every day, surely I can just kind of put them all together and, you know, do it. So I've got to tell you about that experience. That was amazing. It was so beautiful, and it was, you know, it was all for charity, and I ran with other runners, and it was just absolutely beautiful and such a great experience. And it just gave me that little bit of a confidence boost to actually go, you know what, and I recovered very well. So like the first 2 days were a bit tough, you know, those are actually tougher than the last, in my opinion. Because once my body started getting used to running so much, it kind of became like, okay, well, this is like brushing your teeth. Today we run a marathon. So that was great. And then after the 100, I sort of recovered very quickly as well. And I was like, okay, cool, I can do this 24 and 48 hour thing. I was like, what? I want to do it soon because I want to use what I've built, you know, as a base and as my training for this 24 and 48. So that's kind of how it came about. And then I spoke to my club and I was like, listen, let's do this. And this is how we all came to this position. So as you know, I run a lot. So it was really sort of disturbing to me that I wasn't running before my run, my big run. It was getting to me, and I wasn't sure, like obviously the rest I think was probably good for my legs, but it wasn't great for my mind. And obviously not being up to, you know, my peak physical condition before I went to run was not ideal. So that was playing on my mind a bit, and I was struggling with like the 10Ks I was doing during the week of running this 48-hour. And so I was really nervous. I was like, you know what, if I'm struggling with 10Ks, how on earth am I gonna try and do all of this in 2 days? And I knew my mind was gonna have to be strong, but I also knew it'd be very, very easy to give up. Going into it, the confidence wasn't great, whereas before, sort of, if you'd asked me like 6 weeks before, I would have been very confident. But going into it, the confidence wasn't great, and I don't know, I didn't want to let anyone down. I was so scared that, you know, like I'd have all these people sort of counting on me and I would let them down. And to me, that is the worst thing in the world. Like, I don't care what happens to me, I don't care, but I don't want to let people that believe in me or people that are counting on me, I don't want to let them down. And that for me was the biggest amount of pressure, which I put on myself. Everyone else was like, you know what, at least you have the guts to go for it. But for me, if I'm going to go for it, I must actually accomplish it. I don't know, I was stressing. I was like a ball of stress. I really, really was. I don't know, like the few days leading up to it, if you were anywhere around me, you know what, actually just avoid me, because I was just a mess. Anyway, so we started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. Oh my goodness, did we just pick the hottest weekend of September? Because obviously we picked September, I think I've actually said this, but because it was going to be cooler than October, which it was most definitely not. But at least 3 o'clock was sort of leading into the evening. And so it was like 2 hours of hot running, and then it was going to start cooling down. But like I said, I started struggling from the beginning. I was running and sort of, I was like, you know what, this should be feeling so much easier than it is. But thankfully, sort of, I don't know, I play mental games, and people think, what do you think about? And I had to find like little mental games to play with myself. Otherwise I go nuts. And also otherwise I don't actually achieve what I need to achieve. So I've got to find something to do. So my first little goal was to get to 25Ks, and then I could change direction, because obviously going round and round in the same direction is not great. So then I changed direction, that's when the struggles really actually started. So like to 25Ks I was okay, and I was going at a good pace, but it was a good pace, but I was struggling. So I need to get to that good pace and not be struggling. That's the key. And then I thought, okay, well, if I can get to 50Ks, then I'm a quarter of the way of what I want to do. So it's like little goals like that I have to start setting myself. But as it gets later and later, you know, like it starts getting quiet and people start leaving and it starts getting really lonely. Which is where I actually thrived in the 400-kilometer thing. I thrived running alone and being alone, especially the last day when I was running, like, you know, really alone in the complete darkness. I promise you, I couldn't see my hand in my face. I had a torch, and that was it, and it was just silence, and there was nothing, because you're running in the middle of nowhere. And I loved that. I loved the silence. I absolutely loved it. But this was a different feel, because this was like vibe, and then no vibe. Then like, you know, just skeleton stuff, and that was hard. That was really hard. So I kind of had to sort of push myself, and then I sort of thought it to myself, like, that's when the tears came and things. My dad came and checked at like 80Ks how I was doing and stuff, and I was like, no Dad, I can't do this. Well, actually at 40Ks, but this is now further along, 80Ks, and then I just burst into tears. I was not happy. I was just like, no, I don't think I can do it. And I was slowing down. I was getting like proper slow, and I just couldn't motivate myself to go faster. And I couldn't eat anything, and I was worrying, like, I mean, I've still got another whole flipping 14 hours and I can't eat anything. How am I gonna do this? So there was a lot going through my mind. I used to just, every time I'd actually take bathroom breaks just to actually sit down. Not because I actually needed the bathroom, but because it just actually felt so good to just sit, even though it was like impossible to get up afterwards. But I had my own little portaloo, which was awesome, because if you know me at all, like, me and public toilets just do not go. I don't do public toilets. So it was so nice to have my own portaloo that I could just go in and I could just plop down and not have to worry about anything. So that was lovely, and it was so nice to just like sit for like 2 minutes, and I obviously knew I couldn't waste time in there, but and it had a little handle to help me pull myself up. So yeah, that was great. And then yeah, then it was sort of, okay, Tegan, now my dad's gone to sleep, and now it's when it really starts getting tough. But now my goal was like the halfway mark. I was like, okay, Tegan, well, you have to be on 100 Ks or more by 3 a.m. Otherwise, you're not gonna make this. You don't have a chance because you are gonna get slower. So you have to be 100 was our minimum. You know what I'm saying. So I had to speed up a little bit, and I had to really watch my Ks. So yeah, I managed to get, oh God, now, you know, like now my memory's a bit fuzzy, like everything goes fuzzy. But I think I was on about 103 or 104 at halfway, which I was happy about. And then I knew, I was like, okay, and then I changed direction again. And then I said to myself, okay, cool. Now I've just got to make it till like my friends start arriving and just give me a little bit of a boost again. And then that was a dark period. Oh my goodness. It was about 2.5 hours. And that was dark. I was struggling. I was just not in a good place. So, and now at like this point, about like 5 o'clock in the morning, it was more like I was sort of feeling more like it was halfway now. In terms of how tired I was and how much of a grind this last 10 hours was going to be. When you say 10 hours, like who says another 10 hours? But anyways, and I was just like, I don't know. At this point, I just really don't know. And you know, it's quiet, there's no one around. People are slowly starting to come out, you know, like, I don't know, to just let their dogs go out or whatever. And then one of my best friends in the entire world rocked up, and I promise you, oh, was I a happy camper. And at that point, I was just like, please kill me. I was like, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, so he met up with a very grumpy Tegan. And I was just like, no, I don't want to talk. I was like, let's just get this done. And then slowly I started warm up, and yeah, and then you know, like I just started running better, and things started looking up, and then more people started coming, and it just got better, and I started running better, and there was a vibe, and everyone was there, and it was just great. And it was like that for a few hours, probably 2 to 3 hours. You know, it was that nice time of morning. It was like that early morning when it's still cool. Everyone's out walking their dogs. All my friends are there. There's a big vibe going. Everyone's there cheering me on and helping me out, and it's fantastic. And I'm just like, okay, cool. We got this. This is great. Loving life. But obviously not everyone's not going to be there till the end. That's just ridiculous. So, you know, slowly everyone starts leaving and whatnot. And then I'm on my own again. And it's hot. It is like the hottest weekend ever. And I start suffering, like really suffering. And I'm going, okay, now is when I've got to actually dig deep. And I've got to do this. So yeah, it was, I don't even, you know, like I said, I don't really have too much recollection of how everything went. But you know, like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and whatnot with everyone else, and or, you know, they're working out how much faster I need to run, or you know, if I'm gonna make it, and all this type of stuff. And I'm just trying to run my best, and I'm just, you know, they're suffering, and you know, like, but still the community's coming out and they're trying to support me. And like one of my best friends in the whole world comes, and he's like, no, cool, and he knows me so well. He's just like one of those ones that, you know, I can be like, leave me alone, and he knows where to leave me alone, and knows where to push me. And he came and saw me through to the end, because it was rough then. It was just like, I can't tell you how hot it was. And at this point, I'm going and I'm running a little bit, then I need to stop and I need to walk a little bit. And my dad's trying to tell me to run, and I'm just like, I can't run, I just need to walk a little bit. And my grandfather's there trying to cheer me on, which was lovely. Actually, when they got there, that was awesome as well. Because just that little bit of extra support too, and it was hot, and he even ran a lap. It was awesome. So that was fantastic. Yeah, so just to push through to the end, and then, you know, like I'm saying, okay, if I walk, can I still make it? And they're going, yeah, no, you know what, even if you walk from this point on, you will break the record. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I would walk, run as much as I possibly could. People were putting their sprinklers on for me and shooting me with water and getting ice towels and, you know, just real like proper support. It was beautiful. And then my favorite position in the whole world was to just bend over and just breathe. Like, I don't know if I felt like it helped me catch my breath, but it loosened my back, and that was like my favorite position. So I'd have to run to like a shady spot and then like rest there. And then like it was flat, but it wasn't completely flat, this route. You guys can argue with me as much as you like. Go, I promise you, go run it yourself. You run and there's a bit of an uphill, and then like I was like, no, we gotta walk this uphill. But when I say uphill, you would only be able to see it if you put a ball on it or something and you rolled the ball. And then other people argue with me like, no, Tegan, that's just your imagination. But if you ran it enough, you would know. Anyways, and then I'd rest like in the shade and, you know, just get my breath back a little bit and just sort of, I don't know, try and get some oxygen and just try. And then we got ice creams. Oh, that was such a lifesaver, like these ice cold ice lollies, and it's awesome. That was lovely. And yeah, and then I don't even know how much time I had left. I think I broke the record with an hour to go or so, or maybe like 55 minutes, 50 minutes. I could be mistaken, I really don't know. But yeah, and that was, was that a good feeling? Oh my goodness. And then obviously you get a burst of energy and you can just go a little bit faster. And you're just like, okay, cool. But those last few Ks were still so tough. Like I was like, yes, I've broken the record, that's awesome, but now I want to break it as much as I possibly can. So yeah, so then, you know, my friends were just there going, come on Tegan, we can do this, let's go, let's just put one foot in front of the other, we rest when we need to, we go, and we just keep going until time. I'm like, okay, cool, great, let's do this. And they're just so supportive. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I cannot tell you how amazing it was. And just all the support. It was just, like, yeah, I get emotional about it. Can't even think about it because it really, I don't know. Like, I feel like I can never actually repay these people for all the support they gave me and everything that they gave to me. I don't know, it's, yeah. Because I mean, some people are like really close to me and like, you know, like proper like best friends the whole world, and then others are acquaintances, and others are like just good friends, and then other people just don't even know me at all, and everyone's just there for me, and it's just like, wow, thanks. And it just warms my heart, especially when it's been like such tough times for everyone lately. It was just amazing. But anyways, so break the record, yay, awesome. Yeah, you should see the pictures. Not very pretty. It's like salty t-shirt and ooh, gross. Anyways, yeah, I'm far too much of a princess to be a runner. I don't know how the two go together. But anyways, somehow we make it work. You know, we got the Ray-Ban sunglasses on, we got painted nails, the long ponytail. Someone even said to me, no, I should cut my ponytail off, I'll run faster. I was like, well, my strength comes from my ponytail, okay? Leave the long hair. Anyways, so now we just go, we've got like 45 minutes or whatever to try and get as much distance as possible over this record. It's not, I wanted to go further than I did, I'll be honest. I thought I had more in me than I did. So, I mean, it is hard to say you're disappointed when you did break the record, but I am a little bit disappointed in my performance. I really would have preferred a little bit more of a cushion, but you know, actually at the end of the day, I'm very happy that I broke it, especially the way I was feeling, and that I didn't quit, because it would have been nice to quit, but I couldn't. How could I let all these people down that back me? When I didn't back myself, I had other people believing in me and backing me. Yeah, so without those people, like, I don't know. Anyways, so continued, and then, you know, 1 or 2 laps left, just gave it a bit to go and see as much as I could possibly get, and I got 197 Ks. So, you know, about 6.5 Ks over the original record. So I'm happy with that. I think it averages out, I can't remember what it averages out to be, but actually really, I'm happy it's broken. And in my mind, whilst I'm out there, I'm like, okay, awesome. The record is now mine, the 24-hour record is mine. You can't take that away from me, and now the 48-hour record. It's like I don't even think to celebrate the 24, because I was like, okay, now I need to focus on getting the 48, because I want both. I'm like one of those people, you know, I'm never happy with just one. I'm like, okay, I set out to do both. I want both, even though I'm like, I don't have a clue how I'm gonna keep going. And you know, like if you look at it, I did 197 Ks, and now the 48-hour record is only 242 Ks. When I say only, no, I mean that's an amazing record. It's not nothing to be ashamed of or anything. It's a freaking awesome record, but it's now not that far away from what I am. I've got to do another 45 Ks, if my math is right, in 24 hours. And I mean, to me, that's like a long Sunday run. Like, oh, surely I could do that. I can barely walk, my friends, barely walk. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But so like I stop and I take a few photos with everyone and everything after I'm finished. And I go, okay, cool, take the photos quick, say goodbye to whoever was there that was supporting me and needs to go. And I'm like, nope, I need to get a few more laps in before I can race. But I know I need to race. And I'm going, should I race? Shouldn't I race? Should I race? Shouldn't I race? But my body was like, no, sorry, Tiki, you need to race. But what I wanted to do before I raced it was I wanted to make sure I only had 40 Ks to go. So that means another 5 Ks around that track. But I was not going to be running. So I walked. But it was like the slowest walk of my life. I think those 5 Ks took about an hour and a half. Because it was really, just walk a little bit, rest, walk a little bit, rest, walk a little bit, rest. When I mean rest, I mean like stand in the shade for 2 seconds, catch my breath, and walk a bit more. And if for those of you who knows me as a runner, I don't walk. I'm not a walker. I never, ever walk. It's like unheard of. It's like I don't need to walk. I shouldn't be walking. I can always shuffle. There was no shuffling going on. I just had to go round and round just to get to, and I put my mind to it and I did it. Local bringing me like iced coffee. I was like, oh yay! And you know, it was a very chilled walk because now I had the record, now I had all this time to get the 48-hour record. So it was just nice to just actually enjoy the vibe. And there were so many awesome people around me and it was fantastic. So that was a beautiful part of it. Yeah, so I went and got those last few Ks in and then it was seriously time for a break. So I'm specifically not naming people by names to thank them because I'm going to forget people, and if I don't tell a story that you thought you were really part of and I don't include you in things, it doesn't mean anything, honestly, I promise. It's just my brain was nowhere on the day. My brain is still nowhere. I appreciate everything that was done for me. Whether you just handed me something to drink, whether you were with me, it really doesn't matter. Whether you just send me a message to wish me luck or congratulations or whatever, the smallest to the biggest things, I just thank you so much, and I'm so sorry if I don't say something about you. It's really, there were just so many people that were just such a big part of it, and every single one of you is so important to me, so just please forgive me. I love you all so much. Yeah, so let me just get that out the way. So anyways, back to my story. So now it was time to stop. And when I stopped, I was like, my biggest problem is I don't know if I want to take off my shoes. Because if I take off my shoes, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my shoes back on. In terms of blisters, I was like, I don't know. I could feel I had one. I knew I had one on my foot, on one of my toes. And it is one that I don't normally get blisters, hardly ever. But this is one that I've had before and I could feel it. And I was like, oof. Okay, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I need to take off my shoes because I could feel like they were so tight on my feet and I just needed to rest. So I sat down, took my shoes off and gave them an ice bath. And oh my goodness, so we have a family friend that was there that's part of the community there, and she was amazing. She just organized everything for us. She got this bath there, she organized, you know, like she got the community involved, and she was up and down to her house getting everything we needed, and she was just absolutely amazing. And anyway, so she organized this ice bath for me for my feet. Well, it was firstly for me, but I knew if I got into this ice bath, because now it was about, this always happens when I do long videos and I ran out of recording space. Anyways, so yeah, so back to my ice bath. So I'm getting my ice bath that I was supposed to get in my whole body, but now it was late in the afternoon and I thought, oh goodness, if I get into this ice bath, how am I gonna actually warm up? Because I'm one of those people, I go freezing cold. It's something I really do need to sort out, but like no one ever understands when I tell them about it. But like honestly, my body will not heat back up. So I was like, no, that's a bad idea. So let me actually not use the ice bath to bath in. Let me just wash my feet and wash my face and brush my teeth, because this is Princess Tegan after all. We gotta have clean teeth, wash our face, you know, look okay. So I wash my face and I brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna wash my feet. And one of the ladies, one of my dad's friend's wives, was like, no, I'm gonna wash your feet and massage them for you. And I was like, no, really, you can't do that. I was like, you really do not want to be anywhere near these feet. And she's like, no. And she insists, and she gives me like this half an hour massage. It was amazing, and she's like, saved my life. I don't. Also, she doesn't know me from a bar of soap, and does this for me. I was just like, wow. So yeah, so I did that, and then went and changed. And I was able to eat something. These same people actually went out and they got me McDonald's, which normally I would like to scoff it down. It was a bit of an effort, but I managed to get it down. We sorted out my blisters. Also so looked after by one of my other really good friends. Actually, he made sure this whole thing happened, and he went home and got me this special stuff for my feet. It was all thanks to him that this all actually ended up happening. It was all his organization and everything. So he was amazing, and he went and got this for me quickly, and we sorted out my feet, and I just got like nicely wrapped up, and the community was coming around chatting to me, lots of questions and all sorts of things, and it was nice to just chat to people and tell them what it was all about, and it was lovely. And then I thought, okay, well, cool, I'm gonna have a bit of a nap. But then my dad got back, and I was like, you know what? Let me get back on the road. Let me get a few more Ks in. And so that is what I did. So I keep having to watch these videos over just to know like at what point I stopped. And I'm horrified by how I look. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I look like such a zombie in some of them. Oh my goodness, the bags under my eyes, oh my. I don't know, like the recovery is rough. I haven't recovered, I'm trying to, but jeepers, I'm just like, I don't know, like everything is such an effort. I'm exhausted, and I think you can see it on my face. But anyways, that's besides the point. I mean, you know what? I'll take the recovery any day, so it's absolutely fine. But I just thought I should, apologize for the bags and whatnot. Anyways, so it was back on the road, and this was about like 8 o'clock at night. And okay, now let me explain to you. So my very, very first lap, I think was 3 minutes 10. And now this is like my 203rd lap, and now my laps are starting to get like 11 minutes a lap. Just to explain to you the difference. Because now, the reason I did the 24 and 48 together was I thought to myself, okay, cool, if I can do the 24, yes, the 48 is in the bag. Not so much. It sounds easy, and I realize it sounds easy because that's the reason I did it. And I was like, okay, cool, if I can do the 24, I can easily do the 48. And it really did not end up being like that whatsoever. I really didn't think I would go from 3 minutes to 11 minutes. It's because I mean, like, what is a marathon in my life? I run a marathon, like every second day, just about. So now to do like what's one more? But no, this was not the case. But you know what? One thing about me is I am persistent. I am like annoyingly so. Like it's actually not. It's probably, those strengths that are weaknesses and weaknesses that are strengths. This is probably mine. Is I am just so freaking stubborn. And it works well in this sort of situation because I just put my mindset, I'm just like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. Whatever happens, I'm just gonna keep pushing. And that's kind of what I did. So, like, it was quite cute. Everyone was braaiing and having a fantastic time, and I was just going round and round the oval. I was like, let me just get a few more Ks in, let me just get something. And then so I'm walking around and around, and I say to my dad, how long do you think I can take? Well, like, can I take a nap? How long do you think I should take a nap? And we decided that, I'd get another 10 Ks in the belt, and then I'd take like a 3-hour nap. So, get another 10 Ks under the belt, and I'm like, okay, cool. I've only got to do like another 30 Ks, and then, and then I'm done. But at this point, I'm exhausted, and I go, okay, cool. I'm gonna take a nap. So I come in, I go to the bathroom, take my shoes off. I'm gonna stay in my clothes because they're not sweaty. It's actually starting to get cold. I'm actually starting to get cold. And luckily I have a caravan there with a bed in that my friend brought. So thankfully I had that, because otherwise, I don't know, I think I'd be sleeping on like an air mattress or something, like outside, in the wilderness. Okay, hardly the wilderness, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so I tried, but oh my goodness, I couldn't sleep. It was just excruciating. I don't know, like once I was in a position, don't try and move me, I couldn't move. Like if I tried to move it was just too painful. So I tried to lie there, I tried, I tried to eat something, nothing worked. So after about 2 hours, I was like, no, you know what, I'm just wasting time, I can't sleep. Let me go get some more K's in. I'm not gonna wake up my dad, I'm not gonna wake up the supporters or anything like that, I'm just gonna go. So I said to the race referee, I'm back on course, and off I go. And I just go, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the silent night, because now everyone's gone. Now it's just me and the moon. Luckily there was not a full moon, but there'd been a full moon. So, it was relatively bright and everything, and I just walked round and round and round, just get some more kilometers in. But now I'm getting tired and my eyes are starting to close. So I'm walking, but my eyes just like, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I think I need to sleep. So I come off the track, I've done another 11 Ks, which is awesome. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Now let me get some sleep. So I got a 2-hour nap in, which was fantastic. I was able to sleep. I actually felt a little bit better when I got up. And I got up and I was like, okay, cool. Was hungry, got something down. I was like, yes, please. And I think, I don't want to lie to you, but I think at this point I had another 20 Ks I needed to get going. And it was now almost 6 o'clock in the morning. And I finished at 3. So, yeah, easy peasy. No, not easy peasy, not how slow I was going. But you know what? I got it back out there and I was like, okay, let's just keep going. And luckily it wasn't too long until people started to arrive, and that just picked up my mood, and I was like, okay, great. I had all the support and it was fantastic. And before I tried to get in as much as I could before it started getting hot, because this is, like, as I said, like the hottest weekend ever. And I wanted to get in as much as I could before it started getting hot. And thankfully I got in quite a bit before it started getting hot, and then it started getting really hot. Like really, really, really hot. And at just sort of like midday and stuff, there's just no shade whatsoever. So there's no like walking and resting. But I can't even remember when I broke the record. I don't even know what, I don't even know what time it was. And I just come in there like hobbling along like, I'm ready to break the record, yay! And I'm so excited and I'm happy and I'm thrilled, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've got the record, I got it in the bag. I can stop now. I don't have to continue. I have to be there for 48 hours and, cross the line in 48 hours. But I can take a big fat race and like a 5-hour race now if I want. But I was like, you know what, no. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I was like, no, you know what, no, let's just keep going. So I was like, okay, well, cool, let me get to 245 Ks, because then I'm at least over the record, and then I can rest, put my feet up for a bit and whatnot. But you know what, once I got started, I was just like, you know what, let me just keep going and keep going. And I had so much support, so many people coming, chatting, and then the newspaper people came and they wanted to chat to me, and it was just awesome, and just kept going. I had some guy brought me an iced coffee, and no, that was the day before. See, everything's getting mixed up. So my story might, they always say there's 3 sides to every, 3 sides to every story. Your side, my side, and the truth. Right now, it's just my side, and the truth is out there somewhere, but it's not, it's just that I'm forgetting half of it. And it's so much. Like, you gotta remember, it's like 40. So yeah, just think about it like when you don't sleep for 24 hours, when you were either partying or you had to study or you were stressed and you didn't sleep, how exhausted you were the next day. Now try and run the whole of that next day and then not sleep that night as well. That was kind of how it was for me. And so like the brain fog, I still have like major brain fog. Like I'm just in a dwell, I'm just like all over the place. So that was really challenging. It's just challenging to be awake for that long. But there's so much adrenaline and things going through me that it like keeps you awake. It's not like, you know, if you just sit and watch TV, you'll fall asleep. Here, I'm always being stimulated, so, well, obviously I'm moving. So it wasn't that bad to stay awake, but it does get to you, and when it's getting hot and things, it gets to you even more. But yeah, the last little bit, it was kind of like, okay, well, how much am I gonna break this record by now? Because now I've got it, so now, but you know, I don't want to do this again in a hurry. So, you know, but it's so hard to motivate yourself because you've got it and you're exhausted. Now you're just gonna motivate yourself to keep going, and you're like, okay, it's the last little stretch, just like push yourself to the max. So I don't know if this is a strength or a weakness. I don't know if it's because I don't push myself hard enough during a race, or it's just something I find deep down inside. This is what I like to think, is that there's something that I find deep down inside just at the end going, okay, cool, I'm almost done. You can just push yourself to the absolute limit now, and then you are done and you can relax. So when it comes to the end of races, whether it's a short race or a long race, I find something in me just to give that little bit more. And somehow I found it after 47 and a half hours of running. It came down to, okay, cool, I would love 260 Ks. That would be a fantastic, nice round number, but there is no ways. But when I say no ways, I mean like no ways I'm gonna make it. So I'm like, okay, cool, 258 will be cool if I can go. Let's just try and push a little bit just so that we can get this 258. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Let's give it a bash. You know, we're almost done. What is 30 minutes in the grand scheme of things? I mean, I've run long enough now. Let me just give it my absolute all in the 30. If I conk out, I conk out. It doesn't matter. I've got the record. It really doesn't matter. So I may as well push myself as much as I can. So I start sort of jogging a little bit, and it's painful and it's slow. And I'm trying to push a little bit more. The legs start getting looser. I start getting a bit of a, I don't know, a rush almost, and I can feel it. I'm like, okay, cool. And everyone's like, oh, good pace, Tegan, good. You know, like we picking up the pace here. This is good. Let's keep it here. We can do this. And I'm like, you know what? No, this is not good enough. These legs can go faster. So I pick up the pace a little bit more, and a little bit more. And I'm holding a decent pace, and I'm going, okay, cool. 260 is actually, I can actually do it. But I'm gonna have to pick up the pace proper. So I start running a little bit too hard, and then my dad's like, please don't have a heart attack. And I'm going, okay, maybe, because I'm like, and I honestly, I don't breathe like that normally. Well, hopefully not, eh? So yeah, so I pushed a little bit too hard, so I took the pace down a little bit, and I'm running, and you know, it's tough, and I'm going, okay, cool, and now there is just silence. There's nothing coming out of my mouth other than water, and I'm running, and I'm feeling good, and I'm just like, okay, no, that is a lie. You're not feeling good. What am I talking about? Feeling good? Who's feeling good then? No, not me. But you know, like nothing is cramping up, and nothing is, apart from not really being able to breathe. I'm like, okay, cool. And you know, the more I go, the more I get this adrenaline rush, and it's just, and it happens in races, and I think it's a huge strength of mine. But then I also feel like, well, maybe I should have run more, and maybe but you know, let's not even think about that. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's now really push it. And now I don't know how many, I think I've got like 4 laps to go, and I've got to get them in, and 4 laps is over 2Ks. And now I've got to push it. It's I think under 6 minutes a K I've got to run, and I'm just like, okay, cool, I can do this. I was like, I do this every day of my freaking life, come on. So I pick up the pace, and I'm able to hold it, and it was just such an amazing feeling. And I don't know, and it's just, I'm getting all the energy from all these people, and everyone's just like there waiting for me, and I don't know, it is like one of the best feelings ever. And I just push it, and then I actually go over 260, and I'm like, okay, well, cool, I'm gonna go until that hooter goes, and I go, and then the hooter goes, and then I'm just like, I can't breathe for like a few seconds. I'm just like, okay, I need to catch my breath. And yeah, and everyone was there, and it was just awesome. And my mark, I've left these green marks. If you ever go to the Irene Oval and you see those little green marks, those are mine. And they come and they measure and photos and all this type of stuff, and it's awesome, and I'm feeling great. I'm like, cool. And then I have to to walk back to the start. Thankfully it wasn't that, obviously, because it's a 500 meter or 560 meter track, it's not that far. But I get there and Graham says to me, hey, actually that's the first time I actually think I've mentioned someone's by name. But anyways, says to me, Tegan, all these people are waiting for you. They're all like cheering for you. You better run. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna just jog it in. So I jogged it in, and then like everyone wants to take photos. It's so cute. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just like a normal person. I don't really know why you guys want to take photos with me. But thank you very much. I appreciate the love. But at this point, like I really want to sit. So they get this big camper chair, like one of my really awesome camper chairs, and they plonk it down, and I sit down, and like everyone's like staring at me. Sorry, I feel like the queen, and I'm just like sitting there, and everyone's like looking at me and coming to take photos with me. I'm just like, okay, but it was awesome. It really was. And I don't know, like, oh, then a lady brings me some chocolate cake and people just coming to, you know, congratulate me, and it was just, I don't know, it made all the pain and suffering like really worth it. As much as if you had asked me on the track, I would have been like, no, this is so not worth anything in the world, I don't care. But afterwards it really was all worth it, and it's, I don't know, I don't want to say I want to inspire people, because I really don't think I'm very inspiring, but like I just wanted people to know that if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like honestly, I'm just the most normal person you'll ever meet. I'm not special or anything like that. So I don't know, I just feel like people just need to just push past that mental barrier, and I know it's so hard, I know, trust me, I know, but just keep pushing and keep, you know, that belief in yourself. And honestly, like the best thing I can say is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Really, really, really. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, I don't know, I can't ask for words, but I am absolutely thrilled, and like now just actually talking about it is like one of the first times sitting here right now, like 10 days after the fact. Is it 10 days? Yeah, it's 10 days. I'm like, like the first time it's actually like sinking in, and yeah, I don't know. It's quite cool. So yeah, I would pretty much say that is my story for now anyways. We'll see what happens, what comes next. If you guys have any, in my next vlog, what I'll do is I'll answer questions, because I've had like a ton of questions about like, not random stuff, but like where to next, how much did I sleep, what did you eat, you know, like all these type of things. And I thought what I'll do, even though I have addressed some of the things in this vlog, I will answer questions. So if you have any questions, anything you want to know, I mean, have at it. I'll give you the best answers I possibly can, and no advice. Like I've had one or two people ask me for advice, and I'm just like, I'm not too sure I'm the one you should come to advice for, and maybe you should bump your head or something like that, and then, you know, you go bonkers. But no, I'm only joking. But if I can help in any way, I would love to help. So yeah, pop those questions, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. You see, I'm already planning to do another vlog. It's already a step in the right direction. And yeah, also, if you guys want fitness videos, please let me know, because there are a lot of efforts, and to go through all the effort to do them, and you know, they don't really get views and no one really cares, then I don't really want to do them. But if you guys enjoy them and you want me to do more, I will do more with pleasure, because I enjoy doing them, but like I said, it's really time consuming, so I only want to do them if they appreciate it, type thing. Yeah, so anyways, so how is recovery going? I don't know, like I'm running again now. So I took a week off, and then I started with a 3K, then I did a 5K, then I accidentally did a 15K, and now I've just done a 10K. I don't know, like running and stuff is okay. There's not too much pain or anything like that. It's more like I'm suffering with a lot of fatigue and headaches. I've got such bad headaches. But other than that, I think I'm doing okay. I don't know. I'll let you know in the next vlog. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was mildly entertaining. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much. And again, I just want to thank everyone for all their support, and everyone that, you know, made this possible. You guys are the best. I love you all, and yeah, I'll see you really soon.